Let's learn how to defend one-on-one on this game. We explained how Jockey works in the last defensive video, but we didn't really dive deeper to see how you can use the Jockey system when defending. Drop that like button and we start. Visit u7buy.com and get some cheap, safe, and reliable FC coins, and get yourself Team of the Year the 97 overpowered Erling Haaland. Use the discount code DEERFC for 6% off, link in the description. So what is defending one-on-one exactly? It's a defensive action where you approach the opponent's ball holder and challenge for the ball. So in brief, it's about applying pressure to the player with the ball. Before we move any further forward, why do we defend one-on-one? That moment you approach that ball holder and apply pressure. We have 3 reasons for that. 1. It's by purpose. Sometimes the situations happens when you have to defend one-on-one and stop the opponent's player from progressing forward or even win the ball. This situation you have no choice but to defend that way. After you fail, the opponent can get through and punish you, and mostly this happens around or inside your box. For example, here the opponent passes the ball to his striker inside my box. As I select my center back, the situation here I have to defend this player one-on-one purposely, meaning here I have no choice but to do it. Because if it happens and I screw up, the opponent can get through and even score, so I defend well and dispossess the opponent. Another reason is by choice. Sometimes we defend one-on-one just by choosing to do it. It's not by purpose, like even if we don't do it or screw up, it's not punishable. This normally happens high up the pitch and many times in the opponent's half. For example here, the opponent has the ball around the wide central area of the pitch. As you see, I have selected my fullback. So here the opponent has this open pass, but instead of cutting this pass, I decide to press this ball holder. Here it's not by purpose to do it because of this open pass. The opponent can initiate a pass and move and get in behind, but I see the opportunity to win the ball because of the opponent's tendencies, which is a different topic from this. So I choose to defend one-on-one rather than cutting this pass, so it paid off, ending up winning the ball. The last reason is to just delay the opponent. Sometimes the opponent can be with multiple options like space and open passes. Here it's not by purpose to defend one-on-one. But the opponent himself is ignoring other options and directly trying to beat your defender, but the odds is against you because he has many options he can use. So here you're choosing to defend one-on-one, and it's also by purpose to do it. Defending one-on-one begins with observation. This is so important. You have to keep your eyes on the opponent's ball holder. I know some players are used to always look at their defenders, which is okay in some cases, like when you want a player switch and other defensive actions. But if you're defending one-on-one, your eyes should always be locked at this player with the ball. Here you can observe and understand how the opponent is dribbling, to which direction is facing, and other actions. Then next is the defender positioning. First of all, you have to position your defender in the opponent's way or path towards your goal. You have to vision a line from the opponent's player towards your goal. And so here you can defend one-on-one with a great basic defense position. You have to develop this habit and make it your second nature. Defending like this, you always have that feeling how the opponent is dribbling towards your goal, and most especially how he's positioning this ball holder. Next is to leave that 2 to 3 yard distance from the ball holder. The most common mistake beginners make is overcommitting and move too close to this player with the ball. Here it's very easy to beat this defender just by using simple tricks like the pass and move, or any dribbling trick like the ball roll and other simple skill moves. But when you leave that 2 to 3 yards, here it's very difficult for the opponent to beat this defender. To be successful, the opponent have to attempt advanced stuffs or even mind games. And again, don't be too far away from this ball holder. Here you're giving too much space. The opponent will have time to chain tricks and leave your defender behind. So always be close to a distance of 2 to 3 yards. Third is the defender movement. We all know that you move your defender using the left analog, right? We need to jockey, remember. So the first way to move your defender is to speed jockey. We speed jockey when defending one-on-one to approach that ball holder. The main reason is that reaction. Here you cover a lot of ground in a reactive way. When you speed jockey, your defender reacts very well, and it's very easy to mirror the opponent's movements. Here this defender changes directions very easily and quick. Next is to hold your ground. Sometimes, especially when you're too close to the opponent's ball holder. Here it's very easy to overcommit and drag away your defender when using the speed jockey or sprint. But when you slow down your movements using the slow jockey, here the defender react and importantly keeping his position. Next is to stabilize. When defending one-on-one, you have to mirror the opponent's movements, and as you understand, when dribbling no one can keep a stable speed. They always slow down or increase the speed. So sometimes you find yourself sprinting at full speed with your defender chasing down the opponent's player. But if the opponent is good, he will try and slow down and sometimes look for other options. Here's the defender you have to slow down, but in a reactive way. And so using the L2, the slow jockey, you can slow down your defender, but still in a way that he can react to opponent's actions. When defending one-on-one, you have to mix up the jockey system. As I said, the opponent is always changing directions. And to mirror his movements, you have to move your defender, but in a reactive way to match the opponent's actions. And that's why you have to learn how to mix up the jockey system. So here are some examples showing how the jockey system is used effective when mixing these control movements. Here the opponent passed to his winger. He has this big space. So I hold the sprint button because I expect him to sprint and exploit this space. And it's also the defense purpose I have to fulfill at the moment. I sprint for a while and anticipate him to slow down and change direction. So I press L2 to stabilize my fullback, but am wrong at this moment because the opponent is just running towards the byline. So I release the jockey button, hold sprint again, and run to block his path towards my goal. The opponent realizes he can't force his way through the byline, so he slows down, and I also press L2 to stabilize my defender. Here I switch away from this one-on-one because I anticipate the opponent passing to this player inside the box, but I see the opponent again dribbling towards the byline, so I switch back to this fullback. Hold both the L2 and R2 for speed jockey. I approach this player defending basically and win the ball. Last example. The opponent passed the ball to his winger. I also select my center back. As we said, approaching, you press the speed jockey. I approach, but not overcommitting because the opponent can use the pass and move trick and get in behind. So here I use the slow jockey to hold my ground. The opponent tried to dribble pass through my defender, and I win the ball. Next is to tackle. Tackling is that action when your defender lounges on your command and knock the ball away from the ball holder's feet. How to tackle basically. 1. You have to get close to the ball. Don't make this mistake of tackling when you're not near that player with the ball. It doesn't make sense. So get close, and this increases the chances of winning the ball. You have to be observant. Ball contact concept is so crucial when learning how to tackle. Long ball contact is when the opponent's player knocks that ball and it moves to at least 2 to 3 yards away from him. Here you have the opportunity to tackle because he's not controlling the ball during this moment. The player is most likely to make a long ball contact. 1. When he's sprinting. This is the common way because the opponent is moving fast, and to do it his player has to knock that ball a distance away from his feet. Next is after performing any skill move. After performing that skill, that moment the opponent's player is not controlling the ball, and that's the moment you step in and challenge for the ball. Next thing to observe is dribbling. If he is dribbling with the ball open, when the ball is in between your defender and the opponent's player, that's the moment you step in and tackle the ball. Following the tackling basics when defending one-on-one, the pitch area also matters. Basically when defending in or around your box, before tackling the opponent's ball holder after making sure you're close. You have to watch out for ball contacts and reckless dribbling, and me personally, I tend to be very patient. But high up the pitch, as soon as I get close to the opponent's player, I don't always mind about the ball contact. As soon as the opponent dribbles recklessly, I will press the tackle button. Because here mistiming of tackles is not highly punishable than in or around your box. So high up the pitch it's okay to be somehow aggressive, but around your box, be more disciplined and defend one-on-one basically. Good enough, we have a dedicated video about tackling. It covers all concepts of tackling and stuffs about advanced defending whether you should use it or not. So check it out, link in the description. Let's have some examples and see how I defend one-on-one using the basic way. So here the opponent is sprinting down the wing and I'm also controlling my fullback. I vision this line towards my goal. I sprint diagonally like this and block that path, but the opponent senses that and slows down, which means he's planning to change the direction. I press the L2 to stabilize. The opponent changes direction and attempts to drive inside. Visioning this line, I hold speed jockey and approach this player blocking that path. Speed jockey, you move your defender fast in a reactive way. So here as I attempt to get close, the opponent dribbles safely and turn away. I'm not spamming the tackling button even though I'm close because the opponent is not dribbling openly and also not making long ball contacts. But as soon as the opponent loses his patience and tries to force this one-on-one despite having other options to take, he opens and faces my player. So here the ball is in between my defender and his player. I approach using the speed jockey. Remember, it's high up the pitch. Mistiming of tackles is less risky. I press the tackling button and win the ball. Another example, here I loose the ball in my half. The first thing I do, I vision the opponent's path towards my goal. I also sprint to block that path matching his speed. I later on press L2 to stabilize because I don't want to overcommit to this side, and I expect the opponent to change directions. Here I'm very patient waiting for the opponent to make some mistakes because it's around my box. As soon as he performs the reverse elastico, his player makes that long ball contact. That's the moment I step in and press the tackle button and win the ball back. So that's it for today. If you enjoyed the video, drop that like button and even subscribe. See you in the next video. Take care.